Amid fanfare and emotional anticipation, the 2017 Remember the Removal bike ride came to a conclusion, with the cyclists making their arrival back home at the Cherokee Nation Courthouse Square in Tahlequah on Thursday, June 22nd. The ride began on June 4th in New Echota, Georgia, the former capital of the Cherokee Nation prior to removal. The 14 Cherokee Nation cyclists, along with 6 others from the eastern band of Cherokees, rode nearly 1,000 miles across 7 states, covering much of the northern route of the Trail of Tears.
178 years ago, when our ancestors reached this spot to call the end of the Trail of Tears.
For participants such as Kenley Henson of Proctor, Oklahoma, the journey was life-changing.
I don't know, people were probably like, oh, you're not going to cry, or I was thinking I wasn't going to cry whenever I would be on the ride or when I'd get back, and everything completely changed for me. Like, I just cried. I'm not really a crier in front of people, and I cried all the time because all these emotions, and you just have to experience that. And that's how life-changing it was for me.
Trey Pritchett of Stillwell marks Mantle Rock in Kentucky as one of the most memorable places of the ride for him.
How can you imagine something like that? You know, how do you picture that? And I try to see these men and women struggling to hang on, you know, possibly losing their loved ones, their babies, that's unimaginable. You can't picture that.
Zane Wachacha, who was part of the eastern band of Cherokee cyclists, feels the ride is a good attempt to remember tribal history.
I feel like we live in a generation where history is becoming just like a past. It's just we don't care about our history. And I feel like this ride is instilling a part in me and my teammates of that we're connecting with our ancestors and just reconnecting the roots and where the lines were left off and just giving a sense of what they went through.
The arrival featured a welcome home ceremony with some of the riders sharing in a Cherokee song.
Oka Jelika, Oka Jelika, Jaika Wiyuhi, Jaika Wiyuhi.
Will Chavez, who participated in the original bike ride back in 1984, returned this year at age 50 as a mentor rider and was honored to be a part of it all again.
But overall, the trip was great. We stuck together, and this is a great group. I'll never be able to say enough about how we did this and how we worked together.
In 1838, Cherokees were rounded up and forced from their homes in Georgia, Tennessee, and other southeastern states to the Cherokee Nation's current capital in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Nearly 4,000 Cherokees died from disease and exposure along the 1,000-mile journey.